Hello, and welcome to the product demonstration for ID. ID is a legal research tool that helps attorneys more accurately evaluate legal risks and rewards by predicting litigation outcomes. We do this by utilizing statistical models, hence our tagline, converting legal data into winning outcomes. But to make it more concrete, let's run through a hypothetical that simulates how a user might interact with our tool. Now here's our hypothetical. Beth is an Uber driver working in San Francisco, and she got injured while on the job. She is now seeking workers' compensation benefits to help pay her hospital bills. However, there are some legal constraints here. Her contract expressly states that this agreement is not an employment agreement, nor does it create an employment relationship. And that's problematic for Beth. And as expected, her claim is denied, but she is now threatening to sue, asserting that she is an employee and therefore qualifies for employee benefits, which include workers' comp. Now in this hypothetical, you are the legal counsel for Uber, and you just got off the phone with Beth's attorney, informing you of her intent to sue. Now in this scenario, you have two options. A, you can privately settle with Beth, or B, you allow the lawsuit to go forward. There are pros and cons to either option, but fundamental to choosing between the two is a need to understand the legal landscape and the validity of Beth's legal claim. And that's where our tool comes into play. Here's our general interface that is presented to the user. It is a taxonomic structure of the law, starting from general categories and narrowing its focus to more specific ones. And we start off with the two most general categories: criminal or civil law. If this issue involved criminal law, we would be able to interact with each of the corresponding subareas of law here. However, for the purposes of our hypothetical, we know that this involves civil law, and that is where we start. Within civil law, we see different subareas, such as property, torts, and corporate law, as well as labor and employment law. For Beth's claim, we know that this is a labor employment issue, and clicking on labor employment law opens up other subareas. For example, labor relations, safety, and wages. But again, regarding Beth's claim, we need to explore benefits. And as we continue digging deeper into the law, we're able to see other subareas that could be potential issues. But for now, we're focusing on workers' comp in our hypothetical, which ultimately leads us to the issue we want to learn: employee versus independent contractor status. And once we click on that, we're shown some statistical models. Now we want to make these models interactive so that the user can really visualize the law. This graph illustrates past cases that have been decided by courts in California. Each red dot represents one of those cases. And we can see how the courts have classified them. The blue area represents employee classification. The red area represents independent contractor classification. And this blue dot here represents the likelihood of where our case will fall, which we can see falls in the employee classification. Now for some users, this visualization may be sufficient. However, we really wanted to cater our tool to legal professionals and allow them to delve deeper into the law. Again, each of these red dots represents past cases, and you can actually click on each of them to read through and see why courts have ruled the way they ruled. Here we can click on this one case, which is Estrada v. FedEx, and when we click on it, we can read through the case itself. And this is really useful for the attorney. While our predictive analytics show the likelihood of where a case will fall, our tool does not constrain the user's individual abilities. By also providing the user with the legal landscape on a particular issue, it allows them to flex their analytical skills by highlighting cases that strengthen their arguments and weaken their opponents. So while our tool can function on the front end as a litmus test for which cases are winning lawsuits, it also provides a user the flexibility on the back end to craft strong arguments for cases that fall in the gray area of the law. So on both fronts, our tool increases a user's chance of winning on their claims. And that completes our product demo for ID. We thank you for your time.